Hi, we're back. This is Ralph Miller with mayallbehappy.org. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about seated meditation postures today. So, if you're deciding to meditate for the first time, you may, have seen a lot of pictures of people sitting in this, seated meditation posture, looking very much, like your traditional meditator. But what I would just preface all of this by saying is that it's not necessary, particularly if you're not very flexible. And so you may consider, a seated meditation posture that's going to be really comfortable for you, something that you're going to be able to sustain for a prolonged period of time as you meditate. Maybe if you're going to meditate for 20 or 30 minutes, you don't want to sit in this posture. When I first started meditation, my hips were really tight and my knees were like way up here when I was sitting. My feet were falling asleep. It was very uncomfortable, but over time, over a period of several years, I learned more about my body. I became more aware. I took up the practice of hatha yoga, which I feel is really beneficial and really important for you if you're thinking about a seated meditation posture. But if you want to sit in a chair, if you want to, I have a friend that uses a lazy boy recliner, just kind of kick back, does the whole thing. So, pillows, cushions, whatever you need to do, even if you're just laying down, just make sure, if you do that, not to fall asleep. But for me, I enjoy seated meditation. I feel like in a lot of ways my meditation posture is powerful when I'm in the seated meditation posture. It could totally be, just my mind creating that, but it doesn't really matter. So you got to find what's right for you and what works for you. And these are just a few suggestions about what I do. And, I'd love to hear about what you do for your seated meditation, how you sit, and what you found has worked for you. So if you'd like, share that in a video response to this video, or leave it in a comment below. I brought two examples of cushions for you. One is just a rectangular seated cushion, and then the other is a butterfly cushion. And I have used both throughout my practices of meditation. Right now, at this time, I really like the butterfly cushion. It gives me a little extra support underneath my legs, whereas this one, when you're sitting on it, you have to use pillows and things like that. I still use pillows as well. The other thing is, this is just a wool blanket, and typically you would set that over your cushion, and what this does is kind of harnesses and gathers the meditation energy. So every day when you sit on your blanket, it's like building the energy, and then when you go to sit, kind of helps bring you into meditation. It's like kind of an old wives' tale. Whether it's true or not, it's up to you to experience. I can tell you from my own personal direct experience that it really, really does have a powerful effect. It's not made up in any way. So really, if you get a chance to get one, I would do it. So in this position, I'm just going to squish that around a little bit. There's a couple seated meditation postures that you may wish to explore. The first would just be easy pose, where I cross the legs at the shins and then let the knees kind of drop down on the sides. And then if I have a pillow or even like a blanket, you can prop underneath the knees on each side. You could even use your meditation cushion there, just to help support the weight of the knees. Because if those knees, if the hips are tight and the knees are kind of up, that weight pulling down is going to strain these muscles in here, and that's what's going to start to make you tired and maybe even cause some stiffness or soreness in the hips, or even help the make the feet fall asleep. So if I kind of cushion in here and support, then I can sit comfortably for an extended period of time. The hands just in chin mudra, the finger and thumb touching, and then lengthening through the spine, closing down the eyes. You could bring the hands to the, just palm up, right into the lap if that's comfortable. So it just depends on finding what works for you. Experiment a little bit. Experiment with your body. Notice what happens when you sit in this posture, how it feels and how it affects your meditation. The same goes for any of the seated meditation poses. Like really, I invite you to explore them and explore from the standpoint of like not what's best, but what works for you at this moment, because it'll change. It will. Siddhasana is one that I particularly like. The reason why I like it is because it allows my hips to, or my knees to kind of drop below my hips. So I'm just pulling the foot in towards the body, and then I stack the heels together right there in that position. Again, propping the knees on, one or both sides, depending on the level of flexibility. Hands here in Chin Mudra, or what I like is just the hands in Chin Mudra resting right in front of the feet. To me, this is a very comfortable position to meditate in. Can really lengthen through the spine. I can let my legs relax down and just breathing in deep. You could also bring the hands into the thighs if that's more comfortable for you. One other that I'll show you is half lotus. Very similar. I'm going to take, instead of stacking them in front, I'm going to take and bring this heel all the way up into the inner thigh in this position. The top of the foot, the bottom of the foot faces up, top of the foot down into the thigh in this position. And then from here, I would think about extending through the leg and dropping that knee down towards the floor. Now, if it doesn't make it, again, you could use a pillow underneath to help support in that position. So that's half lotus. Lotus position, again, there's a lot of like folklore and wisdom about, the seated meditation posture, full lotus being like the quintessential pose. I can tell you from my own experience, and this is just my experience, full lotus is really hard to hold in for any extended amount of time for me. As I continue to practice Hatha Yoga, that might kind of open up for me a little bit, and I might practice more in that pose. It's something you're going to have to explore for yourself as well. So again, default to your own experience. Try out the poses, see what they do for you. Full lotus would be like half lotus here in this position, but I'm going to take the other leg up and in towards the thigh, and then again drop the feet off and down. Again, using the pillow to prop in this position. This leg is all the way down. Okay, can be a little hard on the knees, and so just be aware of that. A lot of meditation friends of mine that do meditation that have talked to me about their meditation postures. Biggest complaint is the knees, and so really don't force any of these positions. Really be aware of your body and allow yourself some time to work into them. Take up a practice like Hatha Yoga, and maybe sit in a seated meditation posture for 5 or 10 minutes to start your meditation, and then move into a chair so that you're more comfortable for an extended meditation period. So you can kind of build yourself up in that way, but don't feel like you have to force yourself to sit in an uncomfortable position for 30 minutes, because if your body is uncomfortable, it's going to be really difficult to relax your mind and stop thinking about the fact that your back hurts or your hips hurt or whatever it is. So keep all that in mind. If you have questions, comments, leave them below. You can also contact me through my website, mayallbehappy.org. Be happy to have a discussion with you, share my knowledge with you, and I'd love to hear about your own experience so that you can share with me, and of course so that I learn more about what works for other people as well as for myself. So namaste, thank you, and enjoy your meditation.